I honestly thought having my GTO's 389 professionally rebuilt would cost me just a few $1,000s. But by the time it was done, I was not prepared for the total. Here's the real cost breakdown: the parts, the labor, the unplanned expenses, everything it cost me to build my GTO's engine. When it came time to rebuild my GTO's 389, I didn't want to cut corners. The engine deserved to be done right, so instead of doing it myself, I trusted an experienced professional who builds engines every day. We're talking machine work, precision tolerances, quality parts, the kind of rebuild you expect to last. But here's the thing: going the professional route didn't just change how it was built, it changed the cost, and it changed it a lot. But perhaps not in the way you might be thinking. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what it cost me to have this 389 professionally rebuilt, where every dollar went, and whether or not it was actually worth it. Before I began restoration of the engine did run, but only with encouragement, and even then it didn't run well. After the rebuild, it was a different story. It ran flawlessly, and we gained 22 horsepower without a bigger cam, without flowing the heads, or doing anything radical with the engine. Here's a short before and after clip with the engine running. Okay, so what did I spend my money on, and how much did it cost me? Well, machine shop work cost me about $1,100, which included hot tanking the block, repairing 2 cracks in the block, honing the cylinders, and installing new cam bearings. I did not have the cylinders bored. They were already 30 thousandths over from a previous rebuild, and quite frankly did not require reboring. They were in really great condition. Also, I did not need to have the block decked. That too had been done on a previous rebuild before I owned the car, and the deck height was already at 2 thousandths, which meant we couldn't deck it anyway. I reused the pistons and the connecting rods since there was really no sign of wear on those components. We did, however, install new piston rings. I had the heads reconditioned, which included cleaning and inspecting the heads, resurfacing and lapping the valves, replacing the valve guides and installing new valve guide seals, and also installing new valve springs. The cylinder heads did not require refacing, and the cost to do all that, to recondition the heads, was about $740. The crankshaft was in perfect condition, so no work was required there except for installing new main and connecting rod bearings. I'm going to put up a spreadsheet right now so that you can see the total cost breakdown in detail. As you can see, there are 2 columns of numbers on this spreadsheet. My engine builder is in Canada, so the receipts are all in Canadian dollars, but I have converted the Canadian dollars to US dollars since that's what ended up coming out of my wallet. The machine shop fees, which you can see listed there, and I mentioned this briefly already, repairing the block, that was because there were a couple of cracks in it, included hot tanking it, which is cleaning it, honing the cylinders, installing the cam bearings, etc. That that was $1,134.24. I needed to purchase, excuse me, a new water pump, and that was $118.65. For the break-in process of the engine after it was built, we went through 2 oil changes essentially. So the 2 oil filters were $13.56, and the 2 iterations of break-in oil was $90. The general shop costs and supplies came to about $75. The roller cam was probably definitely was the single most expensive item from a parts standpoint that I had to go through, and that came to $2,528.09. But I got to say, the roller cam was the best investment I made in this engine. So I'm really happy with that. New valley pan, new oil pan, gaskets for both of those, oil filter adapter, and a fuel pump that came to $709.36. Head gaskets were $75. Intake manifold gaskets were $22.50. I elected to take an upgrade to an HEI distributor. That was $89.39. New motor mounts, bolts for the same, and PCV valve was $42.37. Intake manifold bolts were $27.38. New water neck was $27.07. Valve cover gaskets were $31.44. And I just finished talking about reconditioning of the cylinder heads, which included new valve springs for the roller cam. That came to $737.33. I had to have custom length push rods for the roller cam, and that was $233.91. I threw out the old starter, the OEM starter, and went with a mini starter, which really works fabulously. That was worth the money too. That was $272.33. Spark plugs, $22.50. And this probably was the best money I spent, dyno service. We took the engine after it was all done and the initial break-in was done. We took it to Daryl Waters dyno service and ran the engine on the dyno. And man, oh man, that was worth its money completely. There's also listed on here a 10% procurement fee of $671.28, and that's all the charges related to the procuring process. So the total parts and labor, and there in the parts cost, there's also some labor in there, obviously, for the machine shop. That came to $7,371.38. And then the total labor, my builder had 65 hours of his labor into that, and that came to $2,275. So if you do the math on that, you'll see that his hourly rate is ridiculously cheap. So I was really pleased with that as well. So the total cost, as you can see on there, is $9,646.38. Now, that does not include a couple of things. So it doesn't include the carburetor cost, which the carburetor, I bought a Quick Fuel Slayer series 750 CFM's 4-barrel carburetor, which we did run on the dyno with the engine. That was $562.95. And so if you add the carb into that, the grand total was $10,209.33. So that's the total parts and labor that I have into the engine. There are actually two more items that are not on this list, and those are the valve covers and the exhaust manifolds. I provided those items to the builder, so that's why they're not specified in the spreadsheet. I purchased both the valve covers and the exhaust manifolds from OPGI. The valve covers were about $160, and the exhaust manifolds cost me about $350. So, if you add that on there, that's another $500 that would be added to the cost for parts anyways to do the engine rebuild. Okay, so that's what it actually cost me to have my 389 professionally rebuilt. Was it worth it? Well, I think that depends on how you look at it. The quality, the reliability, the way this thing runs now, that part's hard to put a price on. I was lucky to be able to get to know the men who laid hands on my engine, was even invited into their shops to see their work firsthand. That alone is worth a lot to me. I'm very satisfied with the entire process of having my engine professionally built, especially the end result. And so for all of those reasons, I think there's great value in the price that I paid, and I think the price was very fair. But I'm curious, what would you have done? Would you rebuild it yourself or do like I did and pay a shop to build it? Let me know in the comments. If you're into muscle cars, restorations, and seeing what projects like this really cost, hit subscribe because there's lots more coming. Thanks for watching.